How you doing tonight? All right, I'm gonna get right into it. I was born without the fashion gene. My mother had it. It leapfrogged over my typically baseball-capped head and landed ever so gently on my daughter. I've been taking fashion tips from this kid since she was 4. This evening, it took 5 changes and a photo texting session with my now 17-year-old daughter. And she wants everybody to know she does not approve. So I get so stressed out when I gotta pick out an outfit that I actually daydream about living in a nudist colony. Right? Because I think, what's the worst that can happen? I get up from dinner and you hear, I lean over to grab the salt and my boob gets in the ketchup, you know? And that's, folks, when it turns into a fantasy because, look at me, these baby bees ain't dragging in nothing. So guys are thinking, what's the big deal? You know, you change your pants, you change your shirt, you know, a couple times you get out the door. No. Ladies, you might want to help me out. Let's enlighten them. We need to change everything, all right? We know exactly what bras go with what tops, right? We know whatever shoes we grab determines on what socks or stockings or whatever we're wearing, right? And then there's a whole world unto its own. Underwear. Or those with the fashion gene, panties, right? We know exactly what underwear goes with what pants, shorts, or skirts, right? And God forbid we gain any weight, and now we have panty lines, right? That's when we have to reach into the far back corners of our drawer for the thong. Now, some of you younger ladies are thinking, oh, what's the big deal? I got a drawer full of them, right? You know, my daughter, she was 11 years old. She had like half of hers were thongs. Well, in my day, there was one place that had thongs. You may help me out. Victoria's Secret, right? And there were only 2 reasons why you would get the thongs. One, to avoid the panty lines. The other, you were a whore. At least that's what our parents told us. Right? So I'm getting dressed one day, about 7 years ago, and I have a very busy day. I got a bunch of places where I'm going, and I got to figure out what I'm wearing. My room looked like disaster. So that day I finally get out, I see everybody. I see the kids at the school, I see their parents, I see the teachers, I even ran into the principal. Later, I'm a social worker, later on I saw my clients. I was at a public meeting or something like that, so I saw everybody, people I didn't even know, and then I had friends for dinner. So I come walking home, and I walk in, and immediately my daughter goes, Mom, I can see your bra. And I said, well, it's a thin colored, shirt, whatever. She goes, no, I can see your bra. So let me back up a little bit here. I'm from Jersey, right? Exit 2 for those who really need to know. And we people from Jersey, we're a rude species. We will give you our opinion, whether you want to know the opinion or not, and whether we're correct or not. Like, this is what I grew up with. I'm just used to this, right? So I'm like, so I'm going, and also when we moved from Jersey, we moved to a place out. It's called Barre, Massachusetts. It's a very rural area, and there are more livestock than there are people in Barre. I'm laying the land. I'm giving you this picture, right? So my daughter says this to me, and I'm thinking, what is she talking about? So I go over and I look in the mirror. And that's when I realized that I had worn my black bra with my pink shirt all day long. And that's when I knew I wasn't in Kansas anymore, or I should say Jersey anymore. Because any one of my Jersey friends would have said, hey, what's with the whole Madonna thing going on? Not one of my Massachusetts friends said anything. So I called one of my friends up and I said, did you notice how I was dressed today? And she said, yeah. And I said, yeah. And she says, well, I thought you were trying a new thing. I said, trying a new thing? I'm 47, not 17. Would you tell your friend they have spinach in their teeth? Would you tell your friend their fly is down? A 47-year-old woman wearing a black bra and a pink shirt walking the streets of Barre, you tell her, for God's sakes. I'm not into infants. Right out there. I taught my daughter sign language to get through her non-speaking years, as I say to it. So she knew, true story, she knew 65 signs by the time she was 10 months old. Most of them clean and appropriate. I'm Italian. Me holding this microphone in front of my face, this is a feat for me, right? So she was gonna pick up some extraneous signs, right? So my mother comes over one time and she goes like this. Are there any Italians in the house? Okay? Does anybody know what this is? And it's like, well, for the uninitiated, let me explain. This pretty much means, if I could kill you right now and bury you in the backyard and get away with it, I would. So I tell my mom, I said, Mom, it means she's hungry. She didn't buy it. That was her sign. That was her sign for us when we were kids. So then my mother-in-law came over, and my daughter goes like this. Now, some people think it's like giving the finger or something. In my house, it was like, leave me alone, go away, forget about it. That's really what it was. But it's not appropriate for a little one to do it to an adult, right? So she does this, so I tell my mother-in-law, I said, well, that means nice to meet you. She bought it. She was Scotch-Irish. My husband and I are very different. I am an energy-sensing, positive thinker. I'm the type of person that carries around a reusable shopping bag because I'm going to save the earth one bag at a time. My husband, on the other hand, says, you know, if God had wanted us to be a little earth-friendly, he would have made a pouch. He would have a pouch. So he said he alone could have, like a kangaroo, he said he alone could have saved 2 acres of the rainforest by putting the beer bottles directly in the pouch, as opposed to using a paper bag. Now, raising my daughter, you would think this would be like really difficult to raise a kid because we're very different. But kids are very intuitive. My daughter was very intuitive, and it was never so evident. We're sitting at the dinner table one night, and she's telling us a story where this kid had grabbed her shovel. And she turned to her father, and she said, so I hit him, and I grabbed my shovel back. And without skipping a beat, that kid turned to me and said, but Mommy, I sent him positive energy so he could find another shovel to play with. I'm going to see if I can get this last story in. My mother collected a lot of Chatskas. She saved them. Anytime she watched, she saved them. And it morphed into this like miniatures thing. She collected all these miniatures. We had miniature houses, miniature wheelbarrows, miniature trees, anything. And then she put them in those printers boxes with the little boxes in them. And when we had about 30 of them all over the house. When she was done with filling those up, she put them on the coffee table. She put them on the buffet. We had them all. My brother affectionately referred to her place as the house of little shit. When you came to when I grew up, you didn't, any slight breeze, I'm knock them down. We didn't say God bless you. When somebody sneezed, we just said, I got it, and put them all down. My sister had no idea that the butter churn was not a piece in Monopoly when we were growing up, because we just grabbed them and we'd use those pieces. My cousin was into the snorting cocaine at one point, so he puts it down on the table, and he went to town. A family of 4, their horse and a wishing well, never had a chance. Thank you very much.
Keep it going for Dave.